everyone? Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I'm your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. Before I bring my special guest in for today, don't forget to check out our social media stuff, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at ASC Pods. You can find our entire catalog on B Plus Player Radio. Check them out on Twitter, at B Plus Radio. You can also check out their sponsors over at Audible, which is a fun streaming service. You can listen to audiobooks and all that stuff. You could get a free 30 days through them. Go to audibletrial.com/B plus players, and don't forget to check out our sponsors over at Too Sweet Magazine. Find them on Twitter at 2TOO Sweet Mag. All right, now that all of that is out of the way, my special guest today, he is the Pro Wrestling Savage, and has a little bit to do with Synergy Pro Wrestling. So let's bring him in, Mr. Colin West. Colin, how are you, sir?
Yeah, just a tiny bit to do with Synergy. Just a little bit.
How are you doing today, man?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I am pretty good. I'm pretty okay. We are, about 72 hours away from Synergy 9, which would be on Saturday, March the 30th at 7:30 p.m. in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Super excited for a couple of reasons. One, because I think we've put a really good card together, and two, because I like shows with stakes. I like shows where things are on the line, where we find things out, where people are forced to put up or shut up, and Synergy 9 is one of those. So there's a lot of anticipation for me about this.
I agree. I'm really looking forward to it, and it's kind of like the kickoff to WrestleMania week.
I mean, sure, I'm totally fine with that. I don't want to be so pretentious as to say that we're that, but if y'all want to say it, I'll take it. Sure.
Hey, because
absolutely.
it's what about 48 hours before Mania week, so we'll say that starts everything off.
Yeah. Either we didn't have the balls to run Mania week, or we're dumb enough to run right, or we're dumb enough to run right before Mania week. So either way, either I'm ballsy or I'm stupid, and chances are I'm a little bit of both.
Well, I got to keep it real.
Faux show.
All right, well let's roll down this card really quick and get your thoughts on everything, and so the fans can find out what's going on.
Absolutely.
Let's start it off here. We got a triple threat, which would be Aaron Bradley, Drake Chambers, and TJ Crawford.
Yes. That is a match that is happening. Well, no, what do you want me to say about it? I mean, it's a triple threat match with three guys who are kind of at a crossroads. And I miss my Uncle Joe. So Aaron Bradley,
you're gonna get me singing the song Bone Thugs and Harmony.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, but Aaron Bradley is at his own personal crossroads. He's kind of had a change of heart lately, been a little bit more sadistic, and it's paid off for him. So kids, anybody that says that being a bad person doesn't pay off, they're lying to you. Sometimes it does. Drake Chambers, meanwhile, has come off of basically fighting Frightmare for a year, right? And gets match of the year in November and beats Frightmare after a year of trying in a ladder match and is on top of the world. And a couple months later, wrestles for the championship, not only loses, but Frightmare, his greatest rival, becomes the champion. So now what for Chambers? And TJ Crawford is a guy who's on the come up. He is a hot name. He is trending. He is buzzing. He's yet to find himself on the winning side of things at Synergy, but there's no lack of talent there. So I'm giving all three guys an opportunity. Winner will call his shot at Synergy 10, which is April 27th, our 10th show, easily the biggest show that we've put on to date. So either Crawford, Chambers, or Bradley will handpick who they want to face at Synergy 10. Simple as that. You win, you call your shot. You lose, you shut up.
Hey, what more could you ask for?
I don't know. I mean, some marshmallow peeps, maybe a crisp $20 bill.
I can go for the $20 bill.
Peeps.
You're a peeps guy. Oh, what am I going to do with you?
I don't know. Probably not much.
Then never was a peeps guy.
Nah, I'm less a peeps guy in terms of eating them, and more in terms of put it in the microwave and see what you can do to it.
Okay, I can get along with that.
Yeah, I'm all about the chaos like that. You know, just a rebel and a badass.
There
Peeps
you go.
in the microwave. Absolutely.
All right. Moving right along, we have. This is one I'm really looking forward to. Is MV Young going one-on-one with the Delster, Mike Dell.
Our two guys are at a crossroads. We've booked MV Young a couple of times and have never committed to bring him on the roster. He asked us for a shot, so we're giving him one. If MV Young beats Mike Dell, he's on roster. Full time. Good. Good for you. You win, you're in. Mike Dell, it's kind of like the reverse Aaron Bradley situation. Mike Dell, after being kind of a dick for a year plus, really turned some heads the last two shows by trying to fight the right way. And even though he came up on the short end of the stick last show, he really showed out, had a stellar performance. And I'm interested to see if this new attitude of Mike Dell takes and how people respond to it.
Yeah, I can see that. It's kind of, to be honest with you, it's kind of like a Bizarro world.
I mean, to an extent, but I mean, look, let's be real. Heels and faces are antiquated. It's stupid. It just is. It's not the old world where, oh, he doesn't speak English, he's a bad guy. Oh, he's from California? Woo! Like, that doesn't fly anymore. And wrestling fans are too sophisticated, and I don't believe in heels and faces at all. I mean, look, conventional wisdom would tell you that Frightmare is what? A bad guy. He wears a mask and he cheats a little bit and he's scary, but the kids who come to our shows love him. So what is he really? He's just a person.
I would say he's whatever you want him to be.
Well, it's everybody has their own set of character traits. And for every person, like you, for example, that likes me, there's people out there that can't stand the sound of my voice. At least 40 of them. Maybe even 41 of them. But they do exist. And I'm the same guy. You're just perceiving me two different ways. So it's flavors of ice cream. Whether or not you buy into Mike Dell being a different guy, there might be people who hate Mike Dell more because he's not cheating. You never know. So it's just a matter of how you perceive the Dellster, how you perceive MV Young. But I like the change of heart because I've always been of the mindset that Mike Dell can wrestle and beat just about anybody. So if MV Young wins this match, he'll have earned it.
Couldn't agree more.
I'm glad.
All right, next we're going to keep it rolling. We have Ring of Honor star LSG going one-on-one with Kyle the Beast, or KTB as he's known.
Yeah, I mean, it's the battle of the initials. 6 letters, KTB, LSG. If it was up to another company, they might go by 1 letter apiece. It's L versus K in the battle of the, I don't know, monograms. But look, the fact that these two guys have been around each other for so long, run in the same circles, have the same friends, for God's sake. The fact that they don't wrestle consistently is criminal. These are two of the best wrestlers that New Jersey has churned out in a very long time. In a very long time.
And they can, I was going to say, not to cut you off, they can work anyone and work any style and make it look good.
Agreed. And to be frank, the only reason that LSG hasn't wrestled for Synergy yet is scheduling. I've asked about him every single show from September 2017 to now. This is the first one he could make, and he's here. And I point blank asked both of these guys, you want to wrestle each other? Because this is the match I want to book. Now that I have LSG here, this is the first match I want to book. I don't know when I'm going to get him back. I don't know when he's going to be available. So I want to do KTB LSG. And they both want it.
That's awesome. They should tear the house down.
I agree. Well, I don't want them to tear the house down because I'm probably going to open the show with them, to be perfectly frank. So I don't need them. I would like a building for the remainder of the show.
Okay, well then
it's got the cash bar in it and everything, and it's an insurance thing. So they can have a killer match. They can have a Dave Meltzer 12.5-star match for all I care. Whatever. Rating systems are stupid, but like really, it's just. Sometimes you put two really good wrestlers in a ring together and you stop trying to be smarter than wrestling and you just let two really good wrestlers have a match, you know?
Right, like the thing I always say, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here.
No, anybody who's trying to reinvent the wheel is either A, just trying to run a promotion to pop themselves, which is destined to fail, or just for some reason is bitter or jaded or arrogant, and nobody's got any time for that. You look at the people who are really killing it right now in pro wrestling, and they're the people who are listening to their fan bases. I'll put over GCW. GCW, great example. Danny and Brett, constantly listening to their fan base, constantly checking social media, in it. You know what I'm saying? So why did everybody goes, man, how did they see that coming before it happened, or how did they pay attention?
Yeah, because they listen to
all you need to do to be a good promoter. Well, there's a lot more to it. You got to bust your ass. You got to know what you're doing to some extent, and I'm still learning. I'm nowhere near the level of some of these other people. I'm still learning, but you got to bust your ass, work really hard, and you got to listen to people, because if you're not listening to the people that come to your shows, you're going to fail. You're going to alienate your fan base, and you're going to fall on your face.
110%.
113.
All right, that's fair. We'll go with that.
I win.
Yeah,
I win by 3%.
Because it's all odd numbers.
Yeah, I mean, look, I might look really smart for booking, for example, this women's match that I'm sure we're going to talk about in a second, but I just paid attention. I'm no genius. I just paid attention to who people were talking about, what they were talking about, who was trending. And they were talking about Gabby Ortiz and they were talking about Nyla Rose. So let's make the match. Let's make people happy.
That's a good segue, because that was next on my list. We're going to.
I figured there were only 2 bullet points left, so hey.
Yeah, we're going to go with Nyla Rose and Gabby Ortiz. Coming off a really awesome NWA women's title match at Synergy 8. Why not go there?
Yeah, I mean, look, we were blessed by Jazz and Maria Manic at Synergy 8. Really high-quality stuff. We were blessed by, the NWA letting us have a NWA World Women's Championship legitimate title defense at Synergy 8. So we're going to build. We have one of the women at the forefront of all elite wrestling, Nyla Rose. We have a woman who just showed out in the ECWA Women's Super 8 as part of Women of Honor, Gabby Ortiz. 2 very different styles, 2 very different approaches to the business, 2 very different game plans. And I promised everybody that we would feature women's wrestling this year, and it's only good business. It's only smart. Women's wrestling, I mean, come on, you're paying attention. Women's wrestling is carrying wrestling right now. Like, it's not. I hate this argument that, oh, is women's wrestling pulling even with men's wrestling? No, women's wrestling is beating the crap out of men's wrestling right now.
I mean, come on. The biggest company in the world is having a women's match, main event, their biggest card of the year.
Yeah, and it's not just WWE. I mean, you look at the women that are signed and your jaw hits the floor, and you look at the women who are unsigned and your jaw hits the floor. I mean, there's talent everywhere. You talk about Maria Manic. You talk about Nyla Rose and Gabby Ortiz, and you talk about Jordan Grace, and you just talk about Chris Statlander, and just the amount of women doing exceptional things right now is mind-blowing. And right now, I think that it's a wake-up call to the men's game that they stop trying to pop each other with gifts, and stop trying, and because the women are beating you. The women are beating you. And so I think the men have to step up to the women's level right now, if I'm being frank.
I agree with you. All right,
that's thank you, Joey.
That's what I'm here for.
Soapbox acquired, achievement unlocked.
There you go. All right, well, before we get into the last match, there's actually one other piece of business that has to be taken care of.
Okay.
At Synergy on Saturday, we're gonna find out who attacked the bulldozer Matt Tremont at Synergy 8.
Oh, okay. It was. I'm trying to think of spin just to make headlines here, but yeah, I'll be real with you. I said the same thing in an interview yesterday with Andrew over at IQ 101. I've got it down to 5. There are people who think that I'm completely wrong with my 5, and I've heard names floated out there. Besides, here's my 5. Mike Dell, we've talked about. Matt McIntosh, TJ Crawford, Anthony Green, and Jason Sinclair from the Apostles of Chaos. They fit the physical criteria. They were in the building, and I, as of this moment, can't account for where any of the 5 of them were. Everyone else, I have an alibi, I have a vouch, or they just don't fit the physical criteria of who attacked Matt Tremont. That being said, there are people who think that it was Maria Manick. Maria Manick was in the building. She has her issues with Tremont going back a couple of years. There are people who still think that it's Brandon Kirk. I have it on good authority that Brandon Kirk was still in the SWF locker room that night. He had a match with Shane Douglas at another show January 26th. I don't think he could have made it here to do that. So logistically, I don't think it could have been Kirk. People seem to think it could be Cody Rhodes after the call-out. People seem to think it could be anybody. I've heard Onita. If Onita flew out here on his own dime, because we didn't pay for it, if Onita flew out here on his own dime to attack Tremont, first of all, I don't think that he would have worn a mask to do it. Second of all, more power to him. I'll book it. But one way or another, I know for a fact, one way or the other, I will have this resolved by Saturday. I don't care what I have to do. I don't care who I have to talk to. I don't care what favors I have to call in. I will resolve this on Saturday. It will be done. Tremont will know who did it, and he will get his hands on the person. Period. End of sentence.
There you go, man.
Who do you got? I want to know who you got. Who you think it is.
To be honest with you, I kind of think it's Matt McIntosh.
Okay, any particular reason?
Because he's the bad apple.
Curious. He's the bad apple?
Yeah, he kind of, beats to the tune of his own drum, if you will.
Well, to be fair, the guy, and here's the thing that I keep looking at, is that the guy who jumped Tremont was wearing a denim vest and was wearing the bad apple Matt McIntosh mask. And there's only one of them. So am I going to believe a whole locker room full of people who are like, well, Matt McIntosh, that's what he wears all the time? Or am I going to believe Matt McIntosh where he says, well, somebody stole my vest and stole my mask without me seeing them steal it out of my gear bag and without anybody else seeing them do it? It just seems far-fetched.
Definitely.
But I gotta overturn every stone. I gotta be sure. You know what I'm saying? I have to be sure.
Yeah, because you don't want to end up with egg on your face.
Well, no, I've had egg on my face. It's actually relatively pleasant. It's poop. I don't want poop on my face. That's disgusting.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very nice.
No, you ever have egg on your face, Railroads? It's pleasant.
No, I'm gonna have
egg on your face. Crack an egg on your head. Let the yolk drip down. It's good stuff.
That's good to know.
Thank you.
All right. Last but certainly not least, we have the main event, which is a 30-man, excuse me, 30-minute Iron Man match, title for title, with the Synergy Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Frightmare, going one-on-one with the standalone Heavyweight Champion, the Pro Wrestling Maniac, Joe Gacy.
Yeah, I was like, thank God it's 30 minutes and not 30 men, because I'd have 28 more guys to book. I'd have to do some work.
And you'd have to pay out a lot of cash.
Oof. Well, hey, listen, these two guys are going to make their money's worth. End of story. 30 minutes. There are no doubts about it. I've already spoken to Chad. That championship is on the line. No funny business. Our championship is on the line. Winner take all. I mean, I don't want to be short about it, but I don't really need to pimp a match with two of the best wrestlers in North America defending their championships in a 30-minute Iron Man match. I mean, it is going to be a bona fide main event, and I would not have signed off on this, with all due respect to Joe Gacy, who ran his mouth to start this. And I have all the respect in the world for Joe Gacy as a competitor. But I wouldn't have signed off on this if I wasn't supremely confident that Frightmare was going to win.
Makes sense.
I can't see a world where Joe Gacy wins this match. Not in my building. Not in my house. Maybe somewhere else. Maybe some other day. But there's a lot of people online. There's a Facebook poll out, and about 65% of people think that Joe Gacy is somehow walking out of my show, walking out of my building with my championship, and taking it away from Frightmare. And those people don't know Frightmare, and more importantly, those people don't know me. Railroads, I will not let that happen. Not on my watch.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen.
Not on your life. I don't care what Chad wants to do. May the best man win, but the best man is Frightmare. He will win.
You heard it. Now, before we head out, if people want to purchase tickets, how can they do so?
With money.
That's all it takes, money, baby.
Okay. Oh, actually, where to find them. Okay, sure. If you go to synergywrestling.com, SYNERGY, wrestling.com, you can click over to our TicketBud ticket selling site. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter at Synergy Wrestle, and find the ticket link in either of those places. I would strongly recommend getting your tickets pre-ordered rather than waiting at the door, generally because while we will have some tickets remaining at the door, I put GA tickets in priority order. If you pre-order your tickets, you go in the second row and then the third row, and we work backwards. I make sure that the people who pre-order get priority seating. So if you want a great seat to this show, cash bar, 30-minute Iron Man match, Nyla Rose, Gabby Ortiz, and everything else, pre-order your tickets now at synergywrestling.com.
There you go. It's simple as that. I wanted to thank you, Colin, for taking the time to run down the card with me, because I know you're such a busy guy.
So much right now. So much. I'm very alone. I'm very alone.
But
no, it's my pleasure, Railroads. You know, I'll always come on and talk to you. I appreciate, like I said, anybody who runs a podcast or a website or does any form of journalism in professional wrestling helps us do what we do. It helps us tell the stories that we tell. And so I appreciate you very much. Thank you.
No problem, man. But on that note, we're going to get out of here for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, give it a thumbs up, all that stuff. And we'll see you back next time. Have a good day, everybody.